Don't forget to hit like on the video if you are enjoying the content. Leave a comment below on the video if you are so inclined to express your thoughts and opinions, or do me a solid and hit me up with a subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with the content or just want to show your support. And yeah, let's play some fucking Guild Wars. Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Replay Guild Wars 2. In the last episode, we took a look at some of the basics of leveling quickly in this game, and today what I'm going to do is go ahead and put these to use. Before I do that though, what I want to do first is show you guys that I have purchased, in addition to re-upping my piles of candy corn custard here, I have purchased 40 minor potions of Gw2 slaying for the bank breaking cost of 1 silver and 40 copper. What this is going to do here is I can run one of these at the same time as my food and give myself another 10% XP buff. It additionally is giving me 5% damage bonus versus Gw2. These utilities always carry a damage bonus versus, well, not always, but particularly at the lower levels. And with those, what you're going to want to do is kind of pick what you're going to be fighting. I'm going to be in Ascalon. The cheapest one that had enemies in Ascalon was these Gw2 slaying potions, so decided to go that route on those. You know, you can min-max it or just grab whatever is cheapest. The difference in the cost on that is very, very small. So that is what we have done so far. I think at this point it's time to go out and start hitting some dudes. So pitter patter, let's get at her. And we'll take a look at the map here at this point. The areas that I've uncovered obviously are Plains of Ashford, where I got about 50% map complete before we moved on, and I actually did finish Diessa Plateau. Where I'm going to go at this point is I'm actually going to do Fields of Ruin. Now I'm -5 to the stuff around here, so I've got to be kind of careful and pick and fight, choose my fights for about the next 2 or 3 levels. That said, 2 or 3 levels won't take very long, so I'm going to get on that. I'm going to start doing some of the pickup events around here and pick up some XP and start to level. Wow, this door is suspicious. It's got those different kind of rivets on it. Looks like it was made in like Radissoum or something. Shifty AF door. I don't know. This door is a little too suspicious. Little map completion kind of pro tip here. This little vista here is one that a lot of people get stuck on because I spend a lot of time on this map and I see a lot of call outs for people who are kind of flummoxed about how to find it because, oh my god, where is it? Where is it, man? Where is it? And start looking around and they can't find it. The reality is the vista is absolutely up there, and what we need to do is the following. Or, you know, we could have just done it this way. Alright, level 26 plus 15 to all primary attributes. A little bit of information on Magic Find, and our choice of a nugget to put somewhere. Oh, an Essence of Luck. Yeah, sure. I'll take the hell out of that nugget. Coming up, we'll get some hero points at level 27. Let's make that happen pretty quickly. Check out that bonus XP. That's what you get for fighting +5s. Oh, there's an event over here, so as is my my own advice, I'm going to recommend y'all come down here and start to tag these events while you're doing your hearts. as I mentioned in the previous episode. So another little pro tip on the completing of hearts and leveling at the same time. If we take a look here, we're running a heart that when we do some clickies, and clickies being the shifting rocks in this scenario, what we're going to get is something that spawns. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go to multiple of these at the same time. I'm going to kite the enemies that spawn out of them together, in addition to the yellow conning ambient mobs, just to kind of maximize my AoE potential here. So, like I say, I'll come here, I'll grab this one, the script comes out, I'll just make sure I have aggro on him, and then I'll pop up here. Oh, well, he's going his own way. Either way, you know, I'm going to grab this, hit these ambient mobs at the same time. Maybe try and grab this cliff bat here, and then just start to maximize my AoE potential. So let's go ahead and do that. Of course, sometimes you run the risk of taking a little bit of damage, but, you know, you're a Necromancer. Badass. All right, level 27 rewards. Hey, yeah, let's take an axe. Nice one. So let's accept that. Hit close. Let's go ahead, pull up our inventory, swap out here, and put on this axe. Let's see if we've got anything else here of value. Oh, look at this. We certainly do. And anything else? We'll keep going through here. Crap. Yeah, let's take this condition damage stuff here just for some lulls. At this point, we will just deposit and go ahead and... Oh, wait a second. Is this amulet better? It is not. Okay, let's go ahead and salvage some stuff. And let's move on with our lives. I want to point something out here at this point. If ArenaNet is somehow, by any kind of stretch of the imagination, watching this heart in the lower corner here of Fields of Ruin, or pretty much in the center of this area here, this heart is busted unless there's an event on. It doesn't generate any mobs without the event, and really the only way to get this heart done in a reasonable amount of time, if the event is not happening, is to cheese it. And to cheese it, what we are going to do is we are going to grab this char scrap metal over here. We are going to walk over and grab this char scrap metal over here. And then we are going to go back to this char scrap metal over here. And we are going to go back and forth between these two to actually finish this heart. It is absolutely, believe it or not, and you're watching the progress on this heart, the only way to get this done when the event is not on within a reasonable amount of time. Now, we can take out this weapon rack for sure, but that's not going to respawn very quickly. So just a little heads up if anybody's watching. This heart is effed, and anybody who's done it, you know, can probably attest to that. Alright, so let's hope this is enough of those things to turn in here and be done. Yay! Ugh. Awful, awful heart. Wow. This rat is suspicious too. Freaky. So, Fields of Ruin leveling pro tip number 3. This area here, Hunter's Gorge, has a couple of hearts in it, and you kind of want to avoid these hearts if you're trying to get your level on. The reason why is that there's a meta chain, or not quite a meta chain, but an event chain that actually happens through that area, where the ogres are at war with the Vanguard, etc. And the event gets farmed hard because there's a very rare drop that happens there. I think the drop's worth about 300 gold, and if you really want to know how much it's worth, ask Cattywampus, who actually equipped it. Dude, even this barrel is suspicious. What the hell? Alright, level 30. Plus 16 to primary attributes. Dungeon Story, Ascalonian Catacombs, and Personal Story Chapter 3. Yay! Alright, so let's hit accept on this. Let's hit close on this. And then the next thing that we are going to do is just head back to our home base. And we are going to talk about a couple of things here at this point. The first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of housekeeping and take a look at our hero points. The next thing that we're going to do after that is we're going to talk a little bit about crafting. So let's take our first step here, take a look at our hero panel. We've had a few hero points come in over the last little bit. I think we have enough. We can't actually train our elite skills here at this point. So we'll train up everything else. Obviously we can't have this yet. And we could actually start looking at training our specializations at this point. Haven't thought too much about this. I'll probably just start with Spite. So we'll just dump whatever hero points we have into this. Then we'll go to our build. And we'll put Spite on here. And we will put damage. Deal increased strike damage to foes with no boons. Focus and axe skills. That sounds like a big win for us. Yeah, let's go ahead with that at this point. So we got a few traits, a bit of a damage increase. This should be good for the time being. Good. Hey, we have mail. I got mail, yay. My herald is sending me a mail telling me that I can go to the Ascalon Catacombs and do the story portion of that. Probably do that in a day or two. Definitely take a look at that. Advanced gardening. This is because I popped into the Silver Wastes map while I was on Brisbane Wildlands, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to this. I can take this, but I'll delete it. It's not really a big deal. And then I have some email congratulating me for my excellent work in the Diesa Plateau. Alright guys, let's talk for a couple of minutes about crafting. I'm not going to be doing any crafting in this video, and it's not that I think it's a bad idea. It's just that it actually kind of goes against the challenge. And really, let me explain. Basically, I think that at this point of the game is when I'd start looking at picking up a bunch of levels by just advancing a few of the crafting disciplines a certain amount. You get a fair bit of XP from crafting. If you level up the crafting in this game via the discovery process, it levels really quickly, and it gets you a fair amount of actual character XP in addition to leveling up the discipline itself. Now, how do I feel about the crafting in this game? It's okay. It's not awful. I mean, I've certainly seen worse systems in MMOs, but if you are a new player to this game, let me set the correct expectations for you about the crafting system. This is not the kind of game where you could level to yourself to the cap via crafting, or even to any kind of decent level just doing crafting. I don't believe. I mean, somebody out there could probably prove me wrong by min-maxing the whole thing, but I just don't think it's viable. The crafting system in this game, likewise, is also not a way to generate consistent large amounts of income, in that the crafting system in this game is more meant for you to maximize the return on the ingredients that you get. I'm hoping that made sense. Really what we're talking about is the difference between other MMOs, and I'm talking specifically about sandbox MMOs. I'm talking about games like BDO, Star Wars Galaxies, things like that, where crafting was actually a viable way to make your income. What crafting is in Guild Wars 2 is a method of maximizing the return that you're getting on your salvage, and that's the way that you're actually going to make your money in this game. So it's to set the right expectation. You couldn't, set up a shop in this game and etc., which is obviously something you can do in other MMOs, specifically in sandboxes. So keep that all in mind. Set the right expectations about your involvement in this system. It's an okay system, but really what the game is going to do as you get to end game is gate rewards via the crafting system. So when we're talking about that, what do we mean? It means that, your best in slot gear is not something that you are going to get without a certain degree of crafting, unless you are into competitive modes. Best in slot gear doesn't actually drop all that often in this game. It's very rare, and when it does, it's only as a byproduct of its skin. What you're really going to do to be getting, best in slot gear is a mix of your rewards and crafting, and the game is set up that way for its economy. Again, I want to set the correct expectations with you guys about this. The legendary crafting system in this game is a convenience/cosmetic only thing. The gear stats that obviously come off this, and if you're not accustomed to the game and the way that it works, is that the gear stats in this game are hard capped, and they are hard capped at what is called ascended quality. Legendary weapons have the exact same stats, the stat values as the ascended. The only difference between them is the cosmetics that comes with them and a quality of life feature that allows you to set the stats and change the stats on the fly anytime you're out of combat. So a very serious QOL value on the legendaries, but not a statistical value. So really what powers the Guild Wars 2 economy is not selling power, it's accessing convenience, it's grinding materials, it's getting those materials for the legendary. That is the number one thing that powers the Guild Wars 2 economy, is the legendary crafting system. Consequently speaking, as a player who may be involved in other games, you may be used to being able to generate more income, more prestige, whatever you have it, via the crafting system. That is just not something that occurs in Guild Wars 2. Every once in a while, a living world patch will occur where there'll be some mad rush for some obscure kind of material that you may have some of, and you can cash in on that. There are some other ways to make a little bit of money crafting, but really if you're making money crafting, it's by doing your daily ascendant crafting and selling the materials that you make out of it. It's just what everybody is doing to power the economy. So consequently speaking, you don't run into a lot of huge price spikes in things unless somebody is actually market manipulating it, and it makes for a pretty chill economy. It's pretty easy and pretty good to go. So with all that kind of big theory talk out of the way, let's talk about how this gets back to what we're doing here. Am I going to craft for leveling? I would normally craft about 5 levels, and I probably choose to do it anywhere between 30 and 60. I would probably do it at that point. Any time where I felt like I was hitting a bit of a grind wall, I would just go and and I don't mean maxing out the crafting, I just mean going and getting a few levels from the crafting system. I don't think it's a good idea to even look at, max crafting until you actually get to the end game. So the crafting system in this game is really kind of irrelevant until you hit endgame. The leveling up of the crafting system is best done with a guide. Absolutely best done with a guide. I will link below a video that I did about API keys that talks about how to leverage your API keys and max your crafting quicker. Highly recommend you take a look at that. So there is that. Let's leave the topic of crafting at this point. It is a good idea. I won't be doing it in this run. The reason why is because I would have to access things in my bank. There is no way to know what this character specifically has put in material storage versus the other characters that I play on any given day. So it really wouldn't be kind of fair for me to do that, because I could just burn through all the low-level materials I have and really put on way too many levels, and it really wouldn't be an accurate representation of any experience. And I really think the crafting until you get to the end game is a straight-up noob trap. I really do. And that may be harsh words, but I really believe it that way. There is nothing that is better crafted as you are leveling that you can't get quicker and cheaper with, gold or karma or any other kind of currency that you may come across. Specifically, karma will be of value as you're leveling. So let's leave the crafting talk at that. Alright guys, gonna put a cap on the episode with all that talk there at that point. I hope it didn't burn y'all out on all that talk, but I think it had to be said. I think it was important. Another thing that has to be said before I go on is hit 2K subscribers on the channel today. Very, very happy about that. Those of you who have been following the series, those of you who have, been following my content for any reason, know this has been seriously a passion project, and really just have enjoyed every minute of it. And, these little milestones are a big smile on my face. So I just wanted to put that out there. There's a post on the community page on the channel page where you can take a look. I put a few more details. Thanked a few people specifically for their help and involvement in the evolution of this channel. And that, my friends, is it. I'm going to get back to my druid build guide here at this point. I'm going to thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to remind you to have fun in game and min-max your real life. And I'm glad we took this moment. We'll see you guys next time.